Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing very well. Welcome to this edition of discussion on the Indian Express dated 19th of August 2022. I bring to you some of the major articles from the newspapers. So let's begin with our today's discussion from the very first page related to GS3 economy sector. The article is headlined as Inflation Target Breach. RBI committee will meet to draft report for the government. So from this article, you have to know first of all what is inflation targeting, what are its objectives, also the roles and responsibilities of the Reserve Bank of India. Alright, moving further on page number 3 from GS3 Internal Security. Now, this article talks about the tiff between centre and the Delhi government on the Rohingya issue. So, it is headlined as Rohingya have to be dealt with by the centre, says Sisodia, the Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia. From this article, you have to learn the facts related to Rohingyas. Also, what are the related issues and subsequently what are the ways to handle them? Alright, moving on page number 6 from GS2 International Relations. Now, the article is headlined as Eye on China. Jaishankar says Quad will benefit Indo-Pacific. Now, as we know, the Quad or the Quadrilateral Security Dialogue that comprises India, the United States, Japan and Australia was set up back in the year 2017, and that was to counter China's aggressive behavior in the Indo-Pacific region. So from this article, you have to know what is the Quadrilateral Security Dialogue, that is Quad, what are its objectives, what is the essence of Quad, and its relevance for the entire Indo-Pacific region. Alright, moving on page number 10 from GS2 Governance Sector. Now this article is written by Mr. Pratap Bhanu Mehta and it talks about the Bilkis Bano rape case. It is headlined as Is This How Justice Ends? Bilkis' perseverance got her a measure of justice, allowed us to cling on to the illusion that justice was still possible. It is an important article, and from here you have to know what is the law on remission of sentences of convicts. How did Gujarat's 1992 remissions policy become applicable in the case, even though changes has been made in 2014? Also, in this context, what did the Supreme Court has to say? What is the key analysis? And also, what is the possible scenario ahead? Alright, moving further on page number 11 from GS1. This is from women-related issues. As our Prime Minister has categorically spoken about the women's role in his Independence Day speech, so this article is in that particular context. It is headlined as Independence Day Speech to Women's Work. The article says that we need to recognize that changing demographics, basic technologies are reducing the importance of childcare and unpaid domestic work as constraints, and therefore we need to address the demand side factors. From this article, you have to know about women's labor force participation rate in India. Also, what are the major constraints, what are the impacts, and further on, what steps need to be taken in this particular context. Alright, moving further on page number 11 itself from GS2 International Relations, the article is headlined as Drawing Lines in the High Seas. Now, this article is related to the Chinese spy ship that has been docked at the Hambantota port of Sri Lanka. So, Chinese ship at the Hambantota calls for New Delhi to look closely at its maritime strategy. This article is written by Mr. Abhijit Singh, and the writer is Senior Fellow and Head of the Maritime Policy Initiative at the Observer Research Foundation. From this article, you have to know what explains Sri Lanka's U-turn on the docking of Chinese ship Yuang Wang 5 at the Hambantota port. Also, why is India concerned about it? Should India demand special rights in its near seas, especially in the circumstances when international law account for the foreign activity that could imperil its national security? And also, what is the possible scenario ahead? Alright, moving further on page number 11 itself, again from GS2 International Relations, the article is headlined as Strides in the Gulf. So the article talks about India strengthening its relations with the countries in the Gulf region. From this article, you have to know about India's efforts to forge deeper links with the Gulf region. Also, what are the recent developments related to it and what are the future prospects. Moving on page number 15 from GS3 Environment Sector, this article talks about Megalodon. So, Megalodon is a very giant shark that is found in deep oceans. Now here, modeling study puts flesh on the fossil of giant transoceanic predator, that is Megalodon, that lived 23 million to 2.6 million years ago. So as you can see in the picture, the image of Megalodon, and it is as heavy as 10 elephants and faster than the sharks of today. So from this article, you have to learn the facts related to Megalodon. Moving on page number 15 itself, from GS3 Science and Technology, the article is headlined as An India Blockchain Platform. So, a digital infrastructure based on blockchain technology will transform the digital ecosystem in India and will enable the future of digital services, platforms, applications, content, and solutions. From this article, you have to know about the digital infrastructure based on blockchain technology in India. What are the benefits associated with it? What are the limitations? And also, what is the possible scenario ahead? Moving on page number 15 itself from GS2 Health Sector, the article is about monkeypox. So, how humans gave monkeypox to a pet dog. From this article, you have to know first of all what is monkeypox and how can dogs or other pets get monkeypox through humans. Moving on page number 17 from GS3 Economy Sector, the article is headlined as Windfall Tax Revision. Levy on crude cut, diesel seeks hike. So from this article, first of all, you have to know what is the windfall tax, what are its aims and objectives. And with this, we call it a wrap of today's edition of Headlines of the Day, the Indian Express. I hope you liked the video. I will see you with some other video. Till then, take care and do stay tuned.